Okay, so I've got a mould here, air dried clay, which I keep in a bag, airtight bag. So we're going to get messy. Okay, so work it through your hands. There's lots and lots of videos on YouTube if you want some instructional videos on how to use it. So you're putting heat through it, rolling it in your hands, rolling it on the surface to make it pliable. But as I say, I find if you keep it in a airtight bag, it keeps it really soft. Okay. So I'm going to roll it out as long as that first trim is. Then in it goes. And you want to make sure it's completely pushed down into the trim. I've always thought a cheese wire would be really good for this. Go across the top with something level and sharp, like that. That's just a metal ruler. Out it comes very gently. Peel back the mould, and there's the first one. Okay, now we want to stick that on straight away really, so I think I'm gonna put the hot glue on. There we go. And you can tidy up the ends if you want to, like that. And that's those three. So up to there. Let's get that on. Like that. Okay, so here's the triptych all dried again. I added the beading, and of course now that's dry. I went over the first one and just kind of gave it a little bit of a blue wash with the blue paint again. So just matching it to the wood itself. And then wiping it off. Just so it looks more whitewashed and aged. Like that. And then we'll do the last one. And of course you could put any images you want on these triptychs. They don't have to be religious. You can do 3 photographs if you like of an anniversary or a wedding, or your grandchildren, your children, anything like that. You don't have to be religious. I just chose it this way. There we go. Okay, now let's just go over this one again. Give it a bit more colour. That's better. Right, so now for the actual images themselves, I want to try and get rid of these sharp edges and kind of blend them in a bit more. I did try it down on this side, which I think worked quite well. So it was the Metallic Dreamy Blue and the Icy Glow by Arteza. And just put some in a pot, mix them around. And that's what I did down that side there. And I think it looks a lot better than when it had the harsh edge. Definitely looks a lot more aged, I think. So I want to try and get rid of these other sharp edges. So the only colour I can really use on this one is blue. I'm just gonna pat it down, swirl it around. Although they're not as harsh, but you can still see them. I notice in some areas it works better than others. I think it definitely looks aged. Okay. Yeah, so I'm probably going to have to do that a couple more times. I'll do that off screen. Spare you the pain. And then on the back, we've got this situation with the sticker not coming away properly. So I'm going to give this another coat of these two blues mixed together. And then I'm probably going to make a plaque that says handmade or something to cover that up. It just goes to show, if you don't use these things straight away, or you don't take these labels off straight away, they can cause some serious damage to the wood. So I'll just give it this darker coat on the back to kind of match with the front. And as I said, you know, this has had an awful lot of paint on it now. You don't have to put this many coats like I've done. I just want to make sure it's completely covered. And this was inspired by one my dad made many years ago. He was a carpenter, so of course he made it himself. And it was quite a size. It wasn't small one like this one. And not sure what he'd say about this one. He's no longer with us, I'm afraid, so kind of done it in homage to him. He'd probably say too much paint. Okay, so that's a bit darker. I think that looks better than the lighter one. So again, that's got to dry. Let me do this bottom edge here. You can come back and do the plaque at the back, and it will be finished. I will do another coat of the blending. Okay, I know they recommend to sand down the edges, and it does away with the straight lines, but I don't really want to risk ruining the paper, so I think I'm probably just going to try and blend it out, and then that'll be that. I could go around this side really with some grey, because it looks like there's a grey background going on there. I did want it to kind of work all together. But yeah, maybe I'll have a go with some grey. Dare I try the rust paste? I'm not sure, because that could really ruin things. I'll have a think, so I'll do it off screen and then I'll come back and we'll go from there with the plaque. Not sure at the minute. Okay, so call me stupid. I had to go with the rust. Couldn't help myself. There it is. It has blended the edges quite well, but still not sure whether I should have left it blue. Might end up painting over it again. Really don't know. I'm ending up with so much paint on it. It's ridiculous. Anyway, I want to put a little plaque on it on the front. You remember my 120 texts, Bible texts from Cedar Trading? Got out the black ones and just going to choose one off one of the sheets. I think we'll have Corinthians 2:13-11. Be of good comfort, be of one mind, live in peace, and the God of love and peace will be with you. So that is going to go on this oval shaped piece of blue that I've cut out. I'm going to cover that with a frame, metal frame, and that's going to go up the top there. On the back I did put another frame and a little piece of card with handmade on it by me, so that covers up the problem with the damage to the wood. So let's get this put on and then I'll decide whether or not I'm going to go over it in blue again, because otherwise that's it finished. Okay, so here's the finished project. So I went round with the brown rust, let that dry, added a coat of Mod Podge. Then I decided to sand around the rust area with some wet and dry, very, very light grade, and then some Coordinations cardstock sandpaper, another coat of Mod Podge, and it's finished. I think the rust doesn't look as harsh now as it did before, and it's looking a bit more like it's scrolled paper rather than square pieces. Added the frame and the verse to the top. That's it, it's finished. So there we go. So that's the end of the video. I hope you've enjoyed it. Thank you for subscribing. Thank you for your likes. Much appreciated. Continue adding your comments. I'm enjoying those. And thank you for taking the time out to watch. I'll see you on the next one. Bye.